Hi, this is Palm from Luxury Resale Guide, and it's time to talk about anything and everything about luxury fashion. Today, we will go over the history of Louis Vuitton. Who doesn't know of Louis Vuitton? As far as luxury brands are concerned, it has to be one of the most well-known, if not the most popular brand. If you ask a luxury goods collector what their first luxury purchase was, more often than not, you will get Louis Vuitton as the answer. As such, why don't we take a look at what is so special about the brand that from 1854 till now, it has continued to hold its fort. Origin. The foundation of Louis Vuitton Maltier was built when its founder, Louis Vuitton, first started his apprenticeship under Monsieur Maréchal in Paris. Back in 1837, he was only a 16-year-old boy. It was at a time when the modes of transportations were a bit rough, ranging from boats and trains to horse carriages. Baggage wasn't handled with the best care. It fell upon craftsmen to personally pack and care for those items of baggage so travelers could hit the road without worrying. As a craftsman, Louis Vuitton quickly gained a reputation, and all his lifelong skills with craftsmanship could be attributed to the time he spent there. There, Louis Vuitton stayed until 1854, a total of 17 years before he opened his workshop in the same city, in 4 Rue Neuve des Capucines. After his store became a hit, it became apparent that it was time for him to expand his territory, and so an atelier was opened in Asnières in 1859. The workshop that originally had 20 employees soon turned into 100 by 1900, and then 225 by 1914. By 1885, Louis Vuitton had made enough of a name to open a store in London. By 1969, it was successful enough to set its sight on the Asian market, opening its first store in Tokyo. By 1987, the company's profit amounted to $1 billion. The iconic monogram. If you've ever searched for a Louis Vuitton product, there's no way you haven't come across its most famous design, the monogram. In 1896, it was Louis Vuitton's son, Georges Vuitton, who came up with the floral pattern, quatrefoils design, and L and V that interlocks. By then, owning a Louis Vuitton product had already become a bit of a status symbol. It helped that the product was practical as it was fancy, what with the trunks that continue to be waterproof to date. Louis Vuitton got a patent on the monogram, applicable worldwide. It's a bit of an irony that the monogram was created so manufacturers won't be able to create counterfeit products. The monogram has very specific symbols and lining shapes, as well as material use that usually gives it away whether the product is real or not. The method used for creating the monogram at that time wasn't something most counterfeiters could easily replicate, and yet, years later, it's that very pattern and symbols that have become the biggest reason for creating replicas for counterfeiters. People love collecting the monogram pattern, and if counterfeiters could pass off a fake LV as a real one, it's the best situation for them. Keepall, Speedy, Noe. If we had to pick the top 3 bag designs that allowed Louis Vuitton to become what it is today, at the top would be Keepall, Speedy, and Noe. One of Louis Vuitton's biggest strengths would always be its ability to adapt to the changing times. For example, in the 60s, handbags became quite popular among women, especially among celebrities who had to frequently go on 2 to 4 day trips due to their job description. The Keepall came out at the perfect time for this. A travel handbag that has enough space to keep all your essentials and a few outfits that you could carry around. The amazing fashion icon and actress Audrey Hepburn had a special love for Keepall, which is what led to Louis Vuitton creating the Speedy 25 specifically for her. Essentially a smaller version of the Keepall, it became the must-have purse for any sophisticated woman. As for the Noe, it was actually introduced back in 1932 and had a success that even LV didn't predict. The Noe was actually a bag made out of specific demands from a champagne house. They just wanted a bag that would be able to hold 6 bottles of champagne securely. Even now, the Noe has enough space to hold 5 bottles. It's hard to figure out how and why, but the Noe has become quite the hit with the general public, who simply loved the practical duffel design. LVMH. In 1987, Louis Vuitton joined hands with Moet Hennessy, which was already a merger of Moet and Hennessy & Company. With this step, Louis Vuitton became a part of a conglomerate. They were able to tastefully increase their investments in luxury goods with this merger, while for Moet Hennessy, it was the only way it could avoid a takeover. None of the companies had to deal with any change in management or subsidiaries, which allowed for smooth operation on all counts. Marc Jacobs. In 1997, Louis Vuitton saw a monumental shift when a legendary designer, Marc Jacobs, joined the team. Marc Jacobs not only updated the monogram during his time as a creative director of Louis Vuitton, but he also made it possible for the brand to have some artistic collaborations, both raising the brand value and sales. These editions were only available for a limited amount of time, thus creating a situation where the owners of those collections felt quite special. Furthermore, he introduced both the Vernis collection and the ready-to-wear line. Neverfull. In the history of Louis Vuitton, Neverfull has made its name as one of the most iconic handbags created by the company. However, it's actually LV's newest edition, only made in 2007. When a tribute collection was made by Marc Jacobs for Steven Sprouse in 2009 due to his death in 2004, the Neverfull and Speedy were one of the bags that were chosen as part of the tribute that got the rose print remake. In 2019, LVMH had 4,910 stores around the world with 75 houses. It continues to rise steadily in Europe and the US as well as Asia, despite the current hostile environment in Hong Kong. Their total organic revenue was recorded at an increase of 10%. So, it's safe to say that the company is doing more than fine right now. Why is the brand successful? Louis Vuitton is a successful brand for a number of reasons. Part of it is due to its stellar, solid products. The products come with long-term durability and iconic designs, and the other part might have a lot to do with genius marketing. Out of all the possible reasons why Louis Vuitton is successful, we think its main reason for success comes from its abilities to adapt to the changing demands for luxury products through strategic collaborations with the most relevant artists and fashion houses. Movement towards strategic collaboration started when Jacobs was appointed as its artistic director in the year 1997. In general, Jacobs has a more youthful vision for the company, which is what spurred him to collaborate with famous sought-after artists to give a new spin to Louis Vuitton products. Among his collaborations, Steven Sprouse was the first artist he collaborated with in 2001. Luxury attire and streetwear merged when Keepall and other Louis Vuitton luggage bags were given the stamp of Steven Sprouse's famous graffiti design. The pieces were gone in an instant due to the massive popularity. Just like how Steven Sprouse's collections of graffiti and roses appealed to the streetwearers, the collaboration with Takashi Murakami on their purses had anime graphics that appealed to their Japanese market. To promote the 2003 collection, a 5-minute animated commercial was aired in Japan called the Super Flat Monogram. 3 years later, in 2006, we had Super Flat First Love, the story now taking a fantasy turn revolving the luxury brand. From the Murakami collection, we were lucky enough to get what would later become some of the most iconic prints from Louis Vuitton, such as the monogramouflage, cherry blossoms, Pootie Panda, and multicore print. The collections called to everything the Japanese loved, from the natural aesthetic appeal of the cherry blossoms to the more bright tone of the anime world. In fact, the collaboration with Murakami was one of his genius moves, as it cemented their stronghold in the Asian market. It was clear to them that Louis Vuitton was willing to meet them on their grounds, which helped increase their brand reputation majorly. Marc Jacobs continued to introduce LV to newer audiences by collaborating with street artists. That's also how we got watercolor Speedy from Richard Prince. Richard Prince's many talents, photography amongst those, also helped him get the chance to become in charge of the 2008 Louis Vuitton ad campaign, which was also featured on Richard's 1970s Dodge Challenger. Then, in 2012, we got the wonderful collaboration with Yayoi Kusama, one of the most renowned Japanese artists. It's quite well known that she prefers going for huge artworks that have her signature patterns all over it. The polka dot is one of her beloved patterns. The same was seen in her collaboration with Louis Vuitton, where a lot of the shoes, bags, and accessories came in red or yellow dot patterns. It's something that specifically appealed to the youth, who found the signature Louis Vuitton style boring. Recently, the brand also collaborated with Supreme under Jones Initiative, a logical attempt as when it comes to menswear in New York, Supreme is the obvious choice. Future of the brand. While Louis Vuitton has always been a symbol of luxury, if the brand's recent collaborations are anything to go by, they are aiming for a more relaxed brand look. Collaborating with Supreme is proof that they want to target the casual market, which seems to be on the rise. Whether they become successful in this venture remains to be seen. Do you agree with our thoughts on why Louis Vuitton is such a successful luxury brand? Please share your thoughts below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to help me create more videos like this. Thank you for watching and have a fabulous day.